In part one, I showed you how to get to this point where we have tabs, named tabs that will each use this Lua script to send out system exclusive and tell the MPX100 to change algorithms according to the tab. This time I'm going to start adding knobs for each parameter within the algorithm, within each algorithm. And I think knobs will let you set a system exclusive formula and use controller's own logic to build up and send that message. But I already have my message formatted the way I want in this Lua function called modulatorChanged. And I'm just going to reuse it. So I'm going to add a knob and then tell it to use this, and then use the same two hacky fields that I used before with tabs, custom modulator index and custom modulator index group, to send the parameter address and the size of the value in bytes respectively. Oh, happy birthday, Carol. So let's get started. I will add a UI slider. Whoops, sure looks like a knob to me. Got to get it onto the tab. I think I'm going to put it on the first one so that I can keep things in order. And I'm going to go after the first parameter in the plate algorithm because that's the one that is selected. Again, custom modulator index is where I'm going to put it's 3 hexstats, 1, 2, 3. This is the parameter address. So I'll copy that and hack it into custom modulator index. Custom modulator index group is where I'm communicating the size of the parameter, and all audio parameters are 2 bytes large. So now that value is entered, and let's see, I can put in, again, there is a space for a system exclusive formula that controller will send automatically, but I'm going to go ahead and reuse my Lua function that gets called every time the modulator changes. I'll set my min and max. So for this base mult parameter, it's 0 to 9. And where is my Lua function? Called when the modulator value changes. And modulator changed. Name, I'm going to leave modulator 2 for something I'm going to do in a minute, and I'm going to change just the visible name for now to base mult. I'm taking from the implementation chart. So there's a label for the knob, and it has the correct values and should send system exclusive messages, and I see those coming out, and they look about right, and the light is flashing on the lexicon when I change them, and I don't think I hear any difference. This probably sends some kind of base change to the effect, so I need to add some more parameters so that I can turn the effect up and hear what it does. And controller has a nice feature which is modulator list, where I can go, I can see modulator 2, I can see the address and the number of bytes that I'm sending for it. I don't need to see a lot of these things, but this will allow me to quickly add a bunch of these because there are 21 parameters in the plate. They just numbered sequentially, starting at 14, which is 20 in hex, and including 0, that's 21. So I'll copy and paste that. and they're all stacked up. I wish it would kind of spread them out by default, but that's okay. And now I can go into my modulator list and I can start editing these things. I'm going to go through and set them all the addresses sequential, because that's how they are received. There goes my printer. And all of these byte counts for the parameter size copied correctly. And I'd like to go through and change all of the labels to be all these appropriate names for each feature. So I'm going to change visible columns and start grabbing things like component label visible. That's what it is. And then now I'll line up the visible name with the address of each of these so that I can, it looks like they got reordered. Now they go sequential again. I'll line up the parameter address with these visible names so I can just copy down the line. Now, it would be awfully nice if I could go down the line and set these modulator max values just like that, like in a spreadsheet. But I found that if I just set a couple, they don't actually change, which is a very unfortunate bug. And I wish it worked. So if I go to modulator 4, I'm not sure if that got selected. I'll just go back to the initial one. I changed the max to 9, and when I go find the min and max, they won't be changed, which means I have to go do it manually. So I'll spread these out some, yeah, they basically did. So I can go in order left to right now. Mid RT gets a max value of 63. Base crossover gets 60. Now I want to move these controls into some sort of order that makes sense. Okay, and if I test this panel out, so there we go. There is Plate fully implemented as a system exclusive editor and controller. So just do the same for chamber, inverse, ambience. It's going to take quite a while, but it should work. Thanks for watching.